Good day, my name is Angelo. This is Nation Voice Staff, your most preferred YouTube channel. How have we been? We've been doing perfectly alright over here, alright? There is a report reaching my table a few minutes ago that the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has revived the cases of 13 ex-governors in a money laundering case involving over 772 billion naira. This is huge, yes. In as much as we are surprised that some ex-governors are being probed by this new administration of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, but we would not applaud the EFCC until we see the end point of all these probes. You know why? Because some of these ex-governors are members of the All Progressive Congress. So for the EFCC to come up and begin to probe them one after the other, then you will know that there is a particular play, or there is a sort of foul play at or in the background. All right. You will be hearing the names of these governors, these ex-governors, how much they've stolen and how far the EFCC have gone to probe these ex-governors, right? But nonetheless, I would like to applaud Ola Olukoyede, who is the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, for going further to fearlessly probe these ex-governors, right? Although some of their names have been in recent probes by subsequent, administrations in the EFCC. But this time around, I feel they are recycling these names so as to make us feel they are doing their jobs. But nonetheless, they have called these names again. This time around, I want to see to what extent this probe would be. I want to see where this probe would end. I want to see to what degree, what will come out of this probe, because this money is involved in this particular case of 13 ex-governors is so much that we have to reclaim these stolen funds, all right? So the EFCC have gone far to call out these 13 governors and how far they have gone to probe them. Please, come with me as I take you on the documentary. You will be shocked to hear the names, some names that you've never heard before, and you will be shocked to know the people that are involved in this 13-man ex-governor list. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has reopened the money laundering cases against 13 former governors and some former ministers, with the amounts involved running into over 853.8 billion naira. Sources further revealed that the amount at stake in the high-profile cases involving the former governors and ex-ministers was not less than 772.2 billion naira. However, the anti-graft agency is currently investigating the 81.6 billion naira that was allegedly looted in the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. However, another $2.2 billion was alleged to have gone missing through money laundering, fund diversion, and misappropriation in recent times. The $2.2 billion was allegedly diverted by a former National Security Advisor, Sambo Dasuki, late media mogul Raymond Dokwesi, former Governor of Sokoto State, Atahiru Bafarawa, and former Minister of State for Finance, Bashir Yuguda, and others. According to the EFCC, the money meant for arms procurement in support of the war against terrorists, but it was laundered, diverted, and misappropriated. According to the EFCC, the money was meant for arms procurement in support of the war against terrorists, but it went further to be laundered, diverted, and misappropriated. While Sambo Dasuki is still in custody of the Department of State Security in 2015, the EFCC arrested Raymond Dokwesi, Bafarawa, Yuguda, and others. They were all arrested after being indicted by a presidential committee that investigated arms procurement under former President Goodluck Jonathan's administration. The committee said about $2.2 billion was diverted for purposes other than arms procurement. The affected persons include two former Ekiti State Governors, Kayode Fayemi and Ayo Fayose, former Zamfara State Governor Bello Matawalle, two former Enugu State Governors Chimaroke Nnamani and Sullivan Chime, former Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Adamu, former Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso. Others are former Rivers State Governor Peter Odili, former Abia State Governor Theodore Orji, former Gombe State Governor Danjuma Goje, and former Sokoto State Governor Aliyu Wamaku, former Bayelsa State Governor Timipri Silva, and former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido. Matawalle, who is currently serving as the Minister of Defense in the administration of President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is being probed for alleged 70 billion naira money laundering, while Fayemi, who served as Minister of Solid Minerals Development in former President Muhammadu Buhari's cabinet from November 11, 2015 to May 30, 2018, before resigning to contest the governorship election for his second term, is being investigated for an alleged 4 billion naira fraud, while Fayose, a two-term governor of Ekiti State, is being investigated by the anti-graft agency for an alleged 6.9 billion naira fraud. Chimaroke Nnamani is being probed for an alleged 5.3 billion naira fraud, while Sullivan Chime is being investigated over an alleged 450 million naira campaign fraud as part of the 23 billion naira allegedly shared by a former Minister of Petroleum Resources, Diezani Alison Madueke, who is now indicted far away outside the shores of Nigeria, while Abdullahi Adamu is under probe for alleged 15 billion naira fraud. Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, who recently contested for presidency under the aegis of the New Nigerian People's Party, is being probed for alleged non-remittance of 10 billion naira pension fund. Theodore Orji is being investigated over alleged 551 billion naira money laundering, while Peter Odili is similarly being probed for an alleged 100 billion naira fraud. It is not yet clear how the probe of the ex-Rivers State Governor will be handled, as he obtained an order of perpetual injunction restraining the EFCC and other security agencies from a federal high court in March 2008, which has not been vacated to date. Danjuma Goje is being probed by the Commission for an alleged 5 billion naira fraud. Aliyu Wamaku is being investigated for allegedly diverting 15 billion naira. Timipri Silva, a former Minister of State for Petroleum under President Muhammadu Buhari, is under probe for alleged 19.2 billion naira money laundering, while Sule Lamido is being investigated over an alleged 1.35 billion naira fraud. Diezani Alison Madueke is being probed over several alleged money laundering cases running into several billions of naira and millions of dollars. Sources privy to the development told us on Friday that the EFCC chairman, Mr. Ola Olukayode, was reviewing all the high-profile cases and had, since his assumption of office, reappointed investigators to take up the several probes without prejudice to the suspect's social or political status. No sacred cow in this particular administration. That is what they are trying to show us. There is no sacred cow whatsoever. There is nobody who is above the law. The law is no respecter of anybody. All right. We have seen the names of Bello Matawalle in that list. All right. And then we have also seen Betta Edu. Obviously, she has to appear in the list too. Alison Madueke was called out. Aliyu Wamako, Chimaroke Nnamani, who has been forgotten. Sullivan Chime and Sule Lamido, as well as Danjuma Goje, and other ex-governors have been called out. I am still waiting to hear lots of names. I am waiting to hear Ahmed Lawan, the former or the ex-Senate President. I am also waiting to hear Femi Gbajabiamila. I am waiting to hear Nyesom Wike. I am still waiting to hear the Senate President's name, Godswill Akpabio. Yes, are they sacred cows? I thought the law was no respecter of anybody. So why are just names? Why are scapegoats being called out? Why are those people who have really stolen in recent times not being called out? All right. That is why I told you that since these names have been mentioned, there is a foul play. In fact, you're calling Raymond Dokwesi, who has lost his life, who is no more. You're calling Sambo Dasuki, who is very, very obvious, or who made his own very obvious during the time of the government administration of President Goodluck Jonathan. All right, he was probed, and we heard about it and all that. All right, and you're calling other people who we all know have taken part in money laundering. Why not call the new people? Why not call those people who have actually stolen recently? So we'll call them out together with the old thieves. All right, I want to know the reason why they are calling out these governors. There is a personal vendetta. There is something the APC want to do by calling out old names. We all know Chimaroke Namani. We all know what Sullivan Chime did. We all know Yisa Yokuda. We all know how much of a fraudulent man Sule Lamide was, all right, as governor of Jigawa State, all right, alongside other people, all right. We know what Theodore Oji did in Abia State and all of that. Call the new people. Call them out. You are trying to use Bello Matawale as a scapegoat because he's not delivering his duties well as Minister of State for Defense. So very soon you hear that they have suspended Bello Matawale, and then it will be like they've done something very, very important. Let us put our fingers crossed to see how far all this will take us. All right. Now, in a shocking twist of events, 222 criminals and thugs from Kano State have been trained and employed into what? You have to know, into the Nigerian police force. I don't know what this country is turning into. I don't know. Well, I will show you the video, and then afterwards I will tell you from the bittermost part of my heart what I think about every nonsensical arrangement and operation that the Nigerian police force has undertaken so far. Please stay tuned.
The 222 thugs, popularly known as Endaba in Kano State, are here to embrace the amnesty initiative introduced by the Nigeria Police Force in the state. About 3 months ago, the Kano State Police Command invited some identified individuals believed to be behind the escalation of thuggery and other heinous crimes in the state for dialogue. The meeting yielded a positive response as some of the thugs embraced the initiative. Among the 222 repentant thugs, 50 of them drawn from Dala, Fege, Ungugu, Kano Municipal, and Gwale local government area of the state, having completed a 2-month intake training as members of the Nigerian Police Special Constabulary, were decorated. They pledged to promote peace in the state and promised not to go back into thuggery.
I am among the 50 people who were trained and absorbed into the Nigerian Police Force, and I am prepared to play my part to ensure that Kano is peaceful. We will go around the state and continue to preach peace to the people so as to keep the state safe.
While welcoming the repentant thugs into the society, the Commissioner of Police, CP Mohammed Gumel, debunked reports making round that the police is recruiting thugs as its personnel. He says the amnesty initiative is only aimed at sustaining peace in the state.
As of today, the police command has received a total of 222 influential youth and are committed to crime prevention duties with the police to fish out violent criminals, among them notorious thugs popularly known as Endaba, who over the years engaged in supremacy conflict, Padandaba as we call it.
The governor of the state, Abba Yusuf, who gave a rosy welcome to the repentant thugs, urged them to be good ambassadors of the state.
From the day they surrendered, they have been subjected to series of reformatory process. They have undergone lectures from psychologists and other experts in human behaviorism. And by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are going to give them all the necessary encouragement.
But the move has generated uproar online as some of the repentant thugs, who is said to be a notorious criminal, recently declared wanted by the police, Nasiru Abdullahi, popularly known as Chile Midoki, is among the new recruits. Some critics kicked against his inclusion and denounced the entire amnesty program. But while defending the move by Kano State, the police force spokesman Muiwa Adejobi said, and I quote, "They are not policemen, I was told, and it has been in the news that they are repentant individuals who have been mobilized into the constabulary scheme of Kano State. The constabulary scheme is not police, but a community-based initiative. With the integration of these 222 repentant thugs into the society, residents of Kano hoped that the amnesty program will address the incessant crimes in the state."
222 criminals. Oh God. 222 criminals were being trained or have been trained already and employed by the Nigerian police force to do what? Let me ask, to do what actually? The ones that were not criminals, what have they done? The officers of the Nigerian police force who were not ex-criminals, what have they done differently from the real criminals? Then you are here bringing ex-convicts into the force. What exactly are we turning the Nigerian police force into? Okay, fine. If you ask them, they will tell you they are trying to toe the way or the line of the Europeans or of the Americans who inculcate criminals, high-class criminals, into their own security agencies or outfits. Let me ask you, are we on the same security level with America, with the USA? Are we on the same security level or security maintenance level with Europe? Have you ever heard, I don't know if I am making a mistake, have you ever heard that a country in Europe brought in or, involved or, inculcated 222 criminals into their own security outfit without a proper check and a thorough follow-up, even parole officers, or a proper check with parole officers? Have you ever heard? Maybe I am making the mistake. Please, you could correct me. I stand corrected. 222 criminals from Kano State, but they cannot go to the southeast and rehabilitate militants and absorb them into the Nigerian police force. They cannot go to the southwest and absorb some criminals there into the Nigerian police force. They cannot go to the south and absorb militants into the Nigerian police force. That is the first point. Why Kano State? I don't even know why. I don't even know who thinks or who writes things for the police force. I don't even know who brings ideas for the police force. If America have done something like this, if Europe has done something like this, that means they know they are up to the task. They have the necessary wherewithals. They'll have the necessary wherewithal to follow up security-wise in case these people go out of the hook. They know how to follow them up. Please, how do we follow up crime in this country? How fast do we even judge crimes or find out investigations in this country, let alone, absorbing 222 criminals into the Nigerian police force? I don't know what this country is turning into. I can tell you for free that I don't understand what this country is turning into. Finally, still on the Nigerian police force, there has been a slogan this year: no grief for anybody. No grief for anybody. This slogan already has been abolished by the Nigerian police force. Now, the Nigerian police force few days ago, ably represented by the PPRO, after a very long speech, abhorred the use and abolished the use of the now trending 2024 slogan, no grief for anybody, right? Wahala. They abolished it and Nigerians are trying to adapt to it. Few days later, the Nigerian army came out to make a speech and told Nigerians, no grief for criminals, no grief for kidnappers, right? But this time around, I would like you to watch this video. There is a police officer in this video, a very big, high-ranking police officer. Please watch this video. When you are done watching it, I will tell you what I think about the Nigerian police force, about what they have been saying, about what they will say. Please stay tuned.
No green for anybody. No green for Oga said that no green for anybody. Everybody should be at peace. No green for anybody is not a criminal state. So fellow citizens of Nigeria, Oga said that if you see anything, come to the station and report. He's willing to cooperate with we citizens of this country. In his era, Lagos State go better. So if you see something, say something. If you cannot go to DPO, come to Ikeja, sir. Come to the commissioner. Come and report. No fear anybody. Thank you, sir.
Are you as shocked as I am? You've heard it there, right? Fine. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, that is him. That is the person in that video telling us no grief for anybody. So what is the difference now between the Nigerian police force in Lagos and the general or the federal Nigerian police force in Abuja? Why are they giving Nigerians different directives? Can you now see that the Nigerian police force is confused? They don't even know what they are doing anymore. Hence the reason why they could actually, in their right senses, absorb 222 criminals into the Nigerian police force. How now do you want to follow up to the aftermath effects of their ex-convict part in the Nigerian police force? How do you want to follow up on the consequences of their criminology or of their criminality in the Nigerian police force? What implements, what instruments, what devices, what security devices do you have on ground to follow up ordinary criminals, let alone criminals in the Nigerian police force? They are all waiting for a viral video that will show them what a Nigerian policeman has done. Then they will now follow up to it. The IG of police should take notes. I don't know what that man is doing there. It's not by catching kidnappers here, catching those who kill the DPO in Port Harcourt and doing all those things. It's by really bringing a brand into the Nigerian police force. Not just respect. Bring in a brand. Bring in positive ideas that will bring about development in the Nigerian police force. Not absorbing criminals. There were better places for those criminals to be. I don't even know why they are roaming about the streets anyway as policemen. And what crimes have they committed that they could not get indicted for? And all of a sudden you've left young, meaning Nigerians that are on the streets looking for better jobs to do. Graduates that have come up from various universities, jobless, and then you're giving criminals a job. If they ask you, you tell us you have to empower them. Can't you empower them with handwork? Or can they be artisans, I beg your pardon. Can they be artisans? Look for something useful to do with their hands. Can they be empowered with any of those locally made tools or jobs of making tools locally? Or any other way of empowering them? Here, absorbing them to the Nigerian police force, giving them another chance to wield guns legally this time around. I tell you what, the Nigerian police force in the next 5 years will be filled with a high range of criminals, and we may not be able to survive security-wise in this country. Please like our videos, share them. Don't forget to drop comments for us in the comment section. If you're watching me for the first time, please tap the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. Please do all these things. You're not doing much again. I don't know why. Do all these things so that we'll be able to meet up to your needs. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.